Although evidence shows that the United States economy has seen negative growth for 2 straight quarters, politicians still debate whether the country is in a recession. Bitcoin is now sitting on $19,000. Welcome to CryptoLink channel. If you love getting news and updates about cryptocurrency, join our community by subscribing to our channel. You can tap the bell icon to never miss our new videos. If you enjoy our channel, kindly like and share it with your friends. September 30th, 2022. Cointelegraph tweeted: "Post-recession depression is real, as Bitcoin drops below $19,000. When is the bottom?" At the opening of Wall Street on September 29th, Bitcoin shook within its constrained trading range as official statistics indicated that the United States economy was in recession. United States satisfies technical criteria for recession. Bitcoin was still circling slightly around $19,000 at the moment, according to data from TradingView and Cointelegraph Markets Pro. The couple endured depressing statistics for the United States, with the second quarter's GDP growth projected at -0.6%. This indicated that, despite objections from the White House to the opposite, the U.S. had negative growth in 2 consecutive quarters, which is the usual definition of a recession. Recessions are often brought up as though they should never occur. The Kobayashi letter, a source of financial criticism, responded, "Any economy that is long-term healthy will experience several recessions. If there is never a recession, there is only a bubble. We only have a recession and a bubble in this situation. Fake markets are ineffective." The Institute of International Finance's head economist, Robin Brooks, was evaluating the situation in Europe when he cautioned that the Eurozone was also set to experience a deep recession as a result of consumer confidence statistics. He said that the White House has declared that this does not meet the criteria for a recession despite the second gross domestic product revision being negative. As opposed to this, they support bears, which is a large drop in economic activity that affects the whole economy and lasts for more than a few months. The incident comes after the Bank of England unexpectedly resumed quantitative easing in the UK bond market, evoking memories of the mood at the time Bitcoin was created. Unstable value of $19,000. Despite the fact that the monthly closure was only a day away, the price of Bitcoin remained rather stable as the data came in. Bitcoin USD was attempting to breach the $19,000 support level at the time of publication. Although the on-chain analytics site Material Indicators noted that the actual GDP figure of -0.6% was stronger than the anticipated -0.9%, there was little cause for celebration. Material Indicators indicated that the market wasn't at its bottom and provided a screenshot of the Binance Bitcoin order book. The recent Fed tightening hasn't made much of an impact, according to a strong economic report. Through the fourth quarter and into 2023, rate increases will be brisker. The related remarks helped it make some predictions. Same date. Another tweet from Cointelegraph indicated: "We're waiting to find out whether lawmakers in the United States will be influenced more by the Brussels effect or the California effect when it comes to cryptocurrency. Numerous legal traditions from all across the world have protected the privacy right. The Fourth Amendment provides protection for it in the United States, whereas Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights provides protection for it in the European Union. While definitions vary by country, the majority of us possess a right to a reasonable privacy expectation with regard to our correspondence, our houses, and our personal information. Families, businesses, and people were producing data unlike any time before in the 1970s, and it became increasingly unclear to what extent this data was covered by the law's existing privacy regulations. The issue of data proliferation was initially identified in the late 1970s, and it grew in importance in the subsequent decade. In 1995, the European Union responded by enacting the Data Protection Directive, which guaranteed some fundamental rights with regard to the handling of personal data. A European Union or EU regulation gives member states the option to choose how to incorporate it into their own national legislation, which is vital to comprehend in this context. It is a suggestion, not a rule, that would compel participants to implement legislation as of a particular date. Since 1995, the European Union has regulated privacy in a well-established manner. The General Data Protection Regulation, often known as the GDPR, began as a directive and gradually evolved into one. It became a legal obligation in 2018. The GDPR established a new standard for privacy legislation and had an impact on laws in various countries, including those in the United States. Anu Bradford called this situation the Brussels effect, when European law becomes the norm for international regulation. We've observed it in a variety of areas other from data privacy, including environmental legislation and online hateful speech, which frequently reach the US by a same method, the California effect, wherein California establishes a stringent norm that is eventually widely embraced in the United States. The process from EU directive to EU laws to international regulatory norm is currently being followed by a different sector. Regulation is essential to decentralized finance, or DeFi, as demonstrated by the case of Tornado Cash, that saw a protocol intended to conceal financial transactions and promote privacy shut down by authorities due to its abuse by unscrupulous actors. Regulations must be followed when building infrastructure. The expansion of digital securities and the larger decentralized finance industry is inevitable, just like data did in the 1980s. Regulation is vital for securing investors, fostering innovation, and ensuring that virtual securities trading is widely used across the world. Digital securities are subject to regulatory uncertainty in the United States since neither the Commodities Future Trading Commission nor the Securities and Exchange Commission are ready to declare their ownership of them. The legislation of digital assets is a topic of continuous discussion in California, and the Senate is anticipated to press for the passage of the Digital Financial Asset Law, an addition to the state's financial code that would include virtual assets. If approved, it would come into effect in 2025. On the contrary, European Union regulators have handled decentralized finance more quickly. Specifically, the Federal Financial Supervisory Authority, the German regulator, or BaFin, has made considerable efforts to promote innovation and provides a model for other countries looking to implement decentralized finance. The German Banking Act will be amended in 2020, bringing cryptocurrencies on par with traditional securities. Regulation is also accelerating in Brussels. This year's fourth quarter, the European Union's markets in crypto assets, or MiCA, enters into effect, beginning an 18-month period of transition for member states. The recently released European Financial Stability and Integration Review 2022, meanwhile, demonstrated a commendable grasp of the industry. It argued for reconsidering the present regulatory strategy and focusing regulation on an activity instead of an organization. Decentralized finance is currently in its early stages. Nevertheless, the European Union's regulation of digital securities may possibly take a similar course to that of the GDPR. This year, Brussels released a statement on activity-based regulation, which may eventually be integrated itself into the Markets and Financial Institutes Directive. Remember that a directive is a suggestion to member states. After then, it can turn into a MiCAR rule. Other authorities will follow once they have a practical example of decentralized finance regulation to draw on and emerges as the technological layer that ultimately will drive the whole financial industry. In fact, nations like Israel had already made it a habit. Whether the Brussels effect or the California effect will have a greater impact on the United States is the subject of debate. That's it for our today's video. So, what can you say about the news? Let us know about it in the comments section down below. Thanks for tuning in to CryptoLink. We are always excited to provide you with news and updates about cryptocurrency, and if you like this video, please click the like button. See you on the next one.